The failure of traditional strategic management.
Some management scholars contend that the traditional strategic management models have failed for a variety of reasons. 9 First, traditional models do not distinguish between strategic thinking and strategic planning. Indeed, traditional models rely heavily upon scientific and quantitative analyses, whereas strategic thinking methods focus upon the synthesis of a decision-maker's creativity, intuition, and experience in the selection of strategies. Second, traditional models overemphasize the role of strategy definition and formulation at the expense of aspects pertaining to strategy implementation, execution, and evaluation. This is particularly evident in business school curricula that focus heavily on strategy articulation and definition rather than the actual execution and evaluation of selected strategies. Moreover, those individuals who were traditionally tasked to translate strategy into workable tactics and operational action plans have been largely removed from organizational hierarchies in the 1990s and beyond. The delayering phenomenon promised many organizational benefits, yet, as we have come to understand, has left a deep vacuum in the translation and implementation of strategy. 10 Additionally, since traditional strategic planning occurs at the very top of organizations and often with the guidance of consultants, strategic plans frequently are handed down to managers with little or no material input and buy-in from lower-ranked employees. Therefore, deep commitment to the successful execution of a chosen strategy, especially among lower-level managers and non-managerial employees, remains questionable. Management writer Mintzberg posits further reasons why traditional strategic planning efforts have failed, namely, the fallacy of prediction, the fallacy of detachment, and the fallacy of formulation. 11. The fallacy of prediction. Traditional strategic planning is based on the premise that all variables relevant to the future of a business are measurable, analyzable, and predictable. Once the results are available, strategies could be based upon those predictions, thus ensuring future success. However, even the most sophisticated predictive models are unable to foresee economic, industry, market, and social shifts. Economic cycles do not behave in a linear fashion. The fallacy of prediction, according to Mintzberg, has contributed extensively to the downfall of traditional strategic planning since it was unable to deliver predictable success. The fallacy of detachment. Traditional strategic planning is based on the notion that strategists ought to be detached from middle managers and employees when analyzing the data in order to remain objective and to prevent bias. However, this approach decontextualizes relevant data and detaches the strategy champions from the strategy implementers. Also, qualitative information is often ignored by the scientific community, creating blind spots in the overall strategy planning. The fallacy of formalization. Traditional strategic planning is based on the belief that formal systems for information processing and decision-making are superior to human systems. Although computerized systems are able to process large quantities of data, it is individuals who integrate, synthesize, and create new directions, patterns, and trends from such analyses. Naturally, there are other management writers who have theorized about the failure of traditional strategic planning. For instance, the Icarus paradox, which refers to Icarus of Greek mythology, who flew too close to the sun and melted his own wings, is a neologism coined and popularized by Danny Miller. The Icarus paradox epitomizes an observed business phenomenon whereby the strengths and apparent victories of successful firms can be the very cause of their own strategic failures. Indeed, the paradox of Icarus was that his skill in technology, which in the story led him to freedom, ultimately also led him to his own death. 12. Clayton M. Christensen, in his book The Innovator's Dilemma, reported that even if firms follow established management principles and practices, they are nonetheless exposed to events, problems, and complexities that can cause strategic failures. Christensen posits that the innovator's dilemma is that the logical and competent decisions of management that are critical to the success of their firms are also the reasons why they lose their positions of leadership. He asserts that good management practice involves sustaining the successes of services, products, and processes, and that firms generally succeed in this. These same companies, however, become vulnerable by the emergence of disruptive technologies, which appear harmless in the marketplace to the successful firm. Since they do not pose an immediate threat, they are ignored. As such, disruptive technologies may grow to become powerful forces and successful firms may be ill-prepared to respond to the changed competitive landscape. Christensen affirms that successful firms are caught in the routine of maintaining the status quo, that is, the current success, and often fail to perceive or understand the threat of disruptive technologies. The objective then is to build and sustain successful services, products, and processes, while possessing the ability to recognize, evaluate, and develop disruptive technologies. 13.